This is John again. I'm at my grandfather, Dr. Tart-Jensen's house. The ranch was down below. He did a lot of classes and stuff up here in the upper part of the property. This actually the house part. This is part of his study where he had a lot of his books. I want to talk real quick about Beyond Basic Health. This book is Advanced Thinking for the Healing Arts. It doesn't really say anything about iridology, so it's a kind of an interesting book because this book was published in 1988, and I believe it was also done in part with Dr. Bodine, who was a good friend of his and did iridology back in New York. And it was also published through Avery Publishing, who he worked with for several books published through them, through Avery Publishing. But this book is interesting because it's kind of a mix between his first book, early 50s, of The Science and Practice of Iridology, and the bigger book is Volume 2, Iridology book, which this book ended up having lots of color pictures in it, of eyes, has tons of pictures. I'll go over this book in more depth later, but this book goes over a lot of that with the nutritional stuff. And I just think that down the road, he wanted to do a kind of a shorter version of that book, a smaller version of this, and show the difference and the correlations between iridology and nutrition. Otherwise, this book doesn't go into iridology quite as much as the other books. He does have this iridology chart here. So I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do with this book. I think it was just more for maybe if somebody was interested in iridology. It doesn't go into a lot of depth of the different aspects of iridology like he does in his other books. This one he goes into more homeopathic remedies and food healing, things like that. Also talks in here about Dr. Jensen operated several health sanitariums in California. The first in Ben Lomond, which you don't hear a lot about. And then the second in Altadena, which you hear more about, but really you don't hear much information. I have some pictures and stuff. I'll be sharing those as well down the road. And then, of course, the sanitarium here in Escondido. He says the sanitariums were his university, and he says patients were in my books. The sanitariums were living laboratories where he was able to observe firsthand what best brought patients back to health. And he talks about his different awards, from the Knights of Malta, the Pax Mundi Academy in Brussels, Belgium, from the award from the Netherlands, National Health Federation's Pioneer Doctor of the Year Award in 1982. So he got a lot of different awards for a lot of the work that he did. And Avery Publishing Group, they did several of his books and published them for him because he had self-published his books for many, many years on his own. So they finally reached out and started publishing books for him. He also dedicates this book to Dr. Bodine. So Dr. Donald Bodine and his wife Joyce, staunch friends who are following the light of the full meaning of healing for mankind. And they were really good friends of his back in New York. And they would come out and stay with him and also help him. Dr. Bodine would actually help him with his lectures in iridology and stuff. So it's an interesting book. It's not very well known to iridologists, but it is kind of an iridology book that's related to the nutrition. So I just thought I'd bring that out and study here. And I will be talking more about